Ready to transform wood rounds and reed forms from Dollar Tree and Temu into stunning DIY decor? In this video, I'll show you 3 unique creations, including a tabletop centerpiece that will bless your home on a budget. For this project, we'll be using 2 of these reed rings from the Dollar Tree. We're going to start also with some tumbling tower blocks. I'm going to create 2 sets on here. I'm going to start by putting 2 together and gluing the short sides with some wood glue. And I repeated the same process with the other 2 pieces as well. Then I took another tumbling tower block and glued it to the end of each one as well. And as I'm doing this, I'm making sure to clean off any excess wood glue that seeps through. Next, I'm going to glue another row of tumbling tower blocks on the short sides of these pieces. And I did that with both sides. My friend, if you're enjoying this video so far, don't forget to hit that like button. And while you're there, subscribe and hit the notification bell so YouTube notifies you each time that I upload a new video. All these things are free and they mean the world to me. Thank you so much. All right, so I made 2 of these structures and glued them together, and I ended up with these. Now we are going to bring over this flank piece from Dollar Tree. It comes in a pack of 4, I believe, at Dollar Tree. We're going to position the tumbling tower block sets on top of that. And we're going to take the biggest ring and place it right here at the bottom. And I'm making sure that everything is straight. And to make sure that I'm adding everything in the right place, I'm taking this marker from the Dollar Tree and marking exactly where the tumbling tower blocks will be. Now I'm going to take some glue. I'm going to start with some wood glue, and I'm going to line it like right in the inside portion of where those marks are. So exactly where the tumbling tower blocks will be sitting. And I'm leaving some small pieces in between so I can add some hot glue later. Then I took some Tide Bond Quick and Thick and I'm adding it to the middle. I'm adding it here to the middle so when I put the rings down, it will be adhered by touching that. Then I came in with the hot glue and added it to the small sections where I added open, I left open, and positioned my tumbling tower blocks right in those spaces, making sure that I'm not covering up where the Tide Bond is. Then I slid down my reed form as you see there, held it in place until the hot glue set. Then I took the smallest tumbling tower block that I had from the same set and placed it on top of that one. Then adding some Tide Bond Quick and Thick over that, I filled in that crack. Then I took a popsicle stick and I'm going to cut it in half and cut it to the size of the tumbling tower block structure there. And we're going to slide it right in there. This is so it keeps all those rings in place. And I took the other piece of popsicle stick and I pressed it down to keep everything in place and I make sure that everything was straight. Then I took another piece of these planks from the Dollar Tree and I'm going to use my marker to measure exactly a piece that is the same size as the tumbling tower block structure. Then I turned it over and marked the other side so I had a mark on both sides and I'm able to know exactly where to cut. Then I took out my new Temu gadget. This is so cool. It has so many ways that you can use it, but for this one we will be using the tiny saw. And I'm going to tell you, I was so nervous. I'm like, I don't want to cut a finger, so be very careful if you get something like this. I'm going to try to link it in my description box if you're interested in getting something like this. I just wish it had a better system to protect your hands. So I cut that section off. Now we're going to go ahead and sand off all the rough edges. I sanded off all 4 sides. Then I took some wood glue and we're going to add it to the tumbling tower block section here. And again, leaving some spaces open for some hot glue as well. Then I added some hot glue to small sections as well. I want to make sure that my bulk of glue is mostly the wood glue because I want this to be nice and sound. Then we placed that in the middle and I just pressed it down as firm as I could to make sure that that hot glue was flat and everything was straight. Here I had some wobbling still on the bigger ring. So I came in with my hot glue gun and I'm going to just go ahead and fill in those holes on the side of the tumbling tower blocks to make sure that everything stays stable. And I did the same thing with the other side and then remove any excess using a popsicle stick to make sure everything was flat. Then I came in with some of my Rust-Oleum Linen white chalk paint and painted that structure. Now I took some of these fairy lights that I got from Temu. I got like a pack of 50 for like $13. So I'm going to go ahead and take that and wrap it all the way around both of the rings. I went to start with the bigger ring first. I went all the way up. And once I got to this section here, I stopped because I want to add some greenery. So I took some of these hanging down branches. I think this is boxwood from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to tape off this section here in the bottom, making it nice and tight. I wanted it to stay exactly how I was. So I just did this so I had a more of a surface to be able to glue this down. And once I had it to the amount that I needed, I cut off this big stem off of it. And then I continued to wrap it with the floral tape until it was nicely covered and you could not see those ugly wires. Then I positioned that wrap section right in the section where this fairy lights have ended and used the same fairy light wires to wrap the to position this on there. I just made it nice and tight and make sure that it was secure nicely, and then I continued to wrap the fairy lights along the rest of both of these wreath rings. And I try to make everything even so I was able to go pretty much all the way around. And that's how cute it's looking. Now I'm going to take different pieces of greenery that I have left over from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to position it right there where that wire is there holding the cascading boxwood. I'm just going to take it into small pieces and glue them right here. I started by just positioning them there, holding them into each other, and then I turned it around and added hot glue to the back in the places where they fit exactly. I just had to be very careful that they did not fall off, and it happened with a couple of them, as you see right there. Once I had all the eucalyptus up, I took these eucalyptus berries that came from the same pick, and I just glued them in between in any of those whole sections there, here and there, until I liked exactly how it looked. Next, I took some of these boxwood pieces that I have also. Actually, these are they eucalyptus as well? I get them all mixed up all the time, guys. Forgive me. Anyway, so I think they are eucalyptus as well. Just a different part. And we're gonna add it right here just to add a little wispy touch to it. And I added one underneath of it as well. And I'm gluing this onto the back of some of the leaves and also onto the reed forms. And I did one more on the other side also. Then I attached the power bank on here, just adding that little tiny bit of hot glue there, making sure that the knob was in a place and was accessible. Then I added in the remainder pieces of greenery here and there, and that is it. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this project? This could be decorated any way you want. You can add a candle to the pedestal, a bunny, anything you like. The possibilities are endless. For this project, I'll be using this wood round and this hat from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to first take my hat and add a nice bead of hot glue right here in the section closest to the where your head will go in the hat. Then I'm going to position that onto my reed form, making sure that the bottom section of the hat or the part where the brim ends is towards the bottom, and that everything is centered and I'm not gluing onto the holes. I want to make sure that the holes that are on there are also straight. Then I took some of this ribbon that I got from Temu, and I'm here deciding which one I want to use to add right here to the middle of the hat. I decided on this one. Look at the beautiful print on that. But it was a little bit too thick, but that's all right. I'm gonna fix that. I just cut off the section that I needed to go all the way around that top section of the hat. Then I'm going to take it and fold it in half long ways. I'm gonna go ahead and do that slowly, making sure that I have the seam touching the other seam so everything looks symmetrical. And then I started adding hot glue onto that seam and carefully gluing both pieces together to obtain a much thinner piece. Now we're going to take this strip and glue it all in the section right here of the hat. And to do that, I'm just going to use some hot glue. When you're this hat kind of like tapers to the top, so it made the ribbon be a bit loose in the top section. So to mitigate that issue, I'm just going to kind of glue it in an angle here in the beginning. I added hot glue here in the nape right here of the hat section. But if you see there, I'm angling in that edge. That's so I'm able to pull the top a little bit more. And I did the same thing with the other side, making sure that everything was adhered correctly and the ribbon was level all the way around. I just cut off any excess ribbon from that side as well. Now we're going to take a variety of flowers from Dollar Tree. I love these blue little flowers. I'm going to go ahead and remove the tag off for both of the pieces. I'm going to use 2 of these blue picks, and I ended up just using 1 of the pink. I'm going to just go ahead and curve them so it kind of, goes to the shape of the hat, and it looks nice and symmetrical. And I'm going to remove the tag off of this one as well. And then this pick has 6 branches to it. So I'm dividing it into 3 pieces. I'm going to bend them so I have everything symmetrical. And then what I did is I just cut the stems off of all of these picks. I just cut them where everything bent. Now I'm going to go ahead and arrange my little flower bunches. I'm mixing all of these with the pink ones. I'm taking the pink ones and separating them as you see there, and then I'm going to take the blue ones and position them in different sections. I'm creating tiny bouquets, and I kept arranging them until I was happy with the result. I'm no florist. I'm just trying to figure out what looked good in my head and what felt good as well. I wanted to have a mixture of the pink and the blue so it looked natural. Once I was happy with the little bouquet, I took some floral tape and just taped down the bottom section of each bouquet to keep everything in place. And also it helps with being able to glue this down. And what I did to this side, I also did to the other. Look how cute these are turning out. All right, we're going to put them just like this on there. And to adhere it, I'm just going to use some hot glue. Now it's time to make a bow. I'm going to use both of the same ribbons I showed you earlier. We're going to start with the blue one. I'm just going to do a crisscross bow, as you see right here, just looping it over each other right here. I'm figuring exactly how big I want my bow. And once I know that, I'm going to go ahead and cut off the excess ribbon. And I did the same thing with the printed one as well. Then I'm going to go ahead and cinch it in the middle. I did this with the smaller one. Then, and if you notice there, I made the printed one smaller than the blue one. And then I'm going to cinch the middle of the blue one as well, or the solid blue one, I should say. And then I took a zip tie and wrapped it around the bow, but I'm not going to tighten it completely. I like this method because you're able to put that in place and fluff your bow, make sure that everything looks perfect before you commit and tighten it. Once I was happy, I just went over and I tightened my zip tie and cut off the excess. Now we're going to dovetail the ends. It just means that you fold it longways as you see there and cut the triangle upwards to reveal this beautiful ends. Now we're going to take one of those pieces that we cut off from the bottom. I added hot glue to one of the ends and wrapped it onto the middle of itself. And then I did the same thing with the other side. I added hot glue to that edge there, then wrapped it over that to create this beautiful little strip. And we're going to use that strip to cover up the zip tie. I'm going to wrap it around the bow as you see there, add hot glue to the back, tack down that one side, did the same thing with the other side as well. And this just gives the bow a beautiful finish. Then we're going to add hot glue to the back of the bow and adhere it right there where the greenery is to cover that up and give this hat an even more beautiful look. Next, I took this hello sign that I got from Dollar Tree, and we are going to position it here on the natural color. I took a poll of everybody at home, and they say, oh, just leave it the way it is. But the next day I didn't like it. I just felt like I blended too much into the hat. So I came back later and painted it pink. But anyway, then I took some of these beads that we got from the Dollar Tree. And this is from the Easter section. And I just thread the blue ones, as you see there, putting some of the light ones and the blue one, the darker ones into the jute cord. And then we're going to tie it right here to the holes of our wood round to have a nice hanger. And that is it for this one. Please let me know in the comment section, what do you think about this project? Today's video is part of the Wood Round or Read Wednesday, and this collaboration is on the 4th Wednesday of every month. And we bring you ideas on how to use wood rounds and reed forms to create beautiful home decor, far beyond wreaths and door hangers. This collaboration is hosted by my good friend Aurea from DIY with Aurea, myself Loli from Loli's Creations, and this month we have the privilege of having the talented Christine from Divine Designs. The links to our channels and to the playlist will be linked in the description box below, so make sure to head on over and show everyone some love. For this project, you're starting with this wreath that I got from Dollar Tree. It came just like this, not Dollar Tree, I apologize, from Temu. And we're going to just fluff it because I had it put away and it was flat and ugly. So we're going to just go ahead and try to fluff it. And then I took this little sign from Temu as well. It is a metal sign and it has 2 holes here on the end. So I'm going to take some floral wire and then just thread it through the front so the wire is on the back of the piece, and then I'm going to feed it through the other hole and pull it through. I'm going to be generous with the amount that I'm using here. I will be using this wire to be able to tie this piece here to the middle. The piece that is on the back is going to provide the support so it stays, at the surface of the reed form. Then I'm going to take the wire and I'm going to thread it on in between all of the greenery here. I'm making sure that you see that little tab here on the top I want that on the back because I'll be adding some jute cord to that to hang this wreath up. So I just make sure that it was straight with that everything, the written section was straight. Okay, I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to say here. And then I'm going to just wrap the wire around, as you see there. And I wanted to make sure that the wire was hidden onto the greenery so you weren't able to see it. So usually that's what it means by hidden, right? I don't know, guys, it's early. All right, I'm also make sure that the wire was not interfering with the greenery. I didn't want anything to be pulled back or be out of place. So I'm just making sure that the wire ends up on that plastic reed form instead of on the greenery. Once everything was nicely positioned, then I'm going to go ahead and just turn over my reed form and tighten up that wire to make sure that this is secured in place. And I'm bringing also some of the greenery forward so it looks natural, like it's just growing into a vine. But at the same time, I wanted to make sure that none of the words were covered. I love this piece, guys, because look. It's all about my Father. And who do I love more than anything in this world? My Lord Jesus Christ. So, I wanted to make sure that that was visible as someone entered my home. Then we're going to go ahead and tighten it up. And then again, I had to fluff it because I could not see half the sign. And then once it was the way exactly how I wanted it, I just came in with a piece of jute cord, added hot glue to both of the end of it to make it nice and pointy, so I'm able to thread it through the hole of the little plastic green tab that I showed you in the beginning. I threaded both of the sides into that hole from the front to the back. Then I did a knot at the back, and that left me with a loop that I was able to use to hang my wreath. And that is it for this project. Let me know in the comment section what do you think about this one. And if you love Jesus just as much as I do, please leave me a cross emoji in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed today's episode, here are a couple more videos you are sure to enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by. You're amazing. Bye.